Hello, everyone. This is Bridget with Horse Auctions USA, and I just wanted to give all of our folks at home and potential online bidders for the Missouri Gated Trail Horse Sale on Saturday kind of a little overview of the online catalog, online bidding, how all that good stuff's going to work, etc. So very excited. Got a super lineup for Saturday. For our gated horse folks, you have got a selection of everything from weanlings right on up to seasoned horses, trail horses, show horses, breeding stock, lots of Missouri foxtrotters, Tennessee walkers, spotted saddle horses, really, really cool group. There's even a gated Frisian cross that's pretty neat. So definitely a cool group of horses all selling Saturday in Ava, Missouri. So of course the basics. The sale is held at Cold Creek Cowboy Church, and that is in Ava, Missouri. It is inside, so not impacted by weather. If you haven't been there and you're planning on attending in person, a really, really cool venue, and you guys are going to really enjoy it. But the purpose of this video is to kind of go over the online catalog, navigating it, all that good stuff, and how to bid online. So first and foremost, the online bidding is provided through Horse Auctions USA. And so you will have two different ways to access the online catalog and bid. You can either use your phone, a mobile device, and if you're going to do that, I'm going to recommend that you use the Horse Auctions USA app. It is super, super user-friendly. You do not have to be even remotely tech-savvy to operate it, and my customers overwhelmingly really do like the app. And this is what it looks like when it's on your phone. As you can see, it's formatted to fit your phone really, really nice, and it is available free to download in both the Google Play and the App Store. So on whatever your device is, if it's, an iPhone or a Samsung, you are going to go to the appropriate store, again, the App Store or the Google Play, and you're going to search Horse Auctions with an S, USA, or you can actually go to the horseauctionsusa.com website and click on our app and download from there. So you can do it either way, and just click get or install, and you are off to the races. So that's how to get the app. And again, if you're going to use a mobile device, I do recommend the app. I think you'll really, really enjoy it. For the rest of you, you guys can bid on your computer. You can use any browser. It will work with any browser, but I do recommend that you use Google Chrome simply because it tends to be the most up-to-date browser. So you guys are going to type in your address bar the words bid, like you're placing a bid, BID, .horse auctions, and again, there's an S at the end of auctions, USA.com, enter. And so whether you are on the app or the website, the rest of this is pretty much exactly the same. When you open up the app or when you get to the website, this is the landing page. And as the name implies, we do horse auctions all over the USA. And as luck would have it, September is a big month for horse sales. So we've got 4 sales going on in 4 states on Saturday. So you're going to see, it'll bring you, like I said, to the landing page, and you'll see all kinds of sales going on here. So the gated horse sale is the first sale. The sales show in chronological order, and that's the first sale, that one's of the day, Saturday. So you guys are in luck. It's the very first sale that's going to show up. So if you're on the computer, it's here, and you're going to click View Auction under it. And if you're on the app, the only difference here is how they're laid out. They're just vertical here. You're going to click View Auction. So what that's going to bring up for you is basically an index, if you will, of the listings for Saturday. All right, so that's what this is. You'll find that this very first lot, lot 0, where it says sale information and practice bidding lot, if you click on that, that's exactly what it is. It's an informational lot. Lots of good stuff there. Going to kind of tell you about this sale, a little bit about the online bidding, etc. A really good resource for you. So if you want to kind of familiarize yourself with it, that's a really good lot to check out. And then the horses, and there is a saddle selling. Normally we don't do any kind of tack online. This is just a single saddle they're going to sell right before the start of the horses. Start time for the sale is 10 o'clock Central Time. So you want to make sure you're logged in and ready to go at 10 o'clock. And like I said, we are going to start with that circle-wise saddle. So we'll start with that saddle, and then they will move right into the horses. So again, you can go kind of scroll through the index, and look at everything. And then if you see one that you want to know more about, you can click on it, and I'm going to show you what happens. If there's a video, it will tell you that there's a video here. So you just click on it, and that's going to bring up the horse's information with their detailed description. If there's a video, it will always be the second thumbnail. So you can either just click here or you can scroll like this. And this guy, I know, has a video, so it'll play right there for you. And then any additional photos will be follow the video. Okay, so that's how to navigate. And then when you have made an account and you're logged in, you can star them to favorite it and all that stuff. So I'm not signed in yet, so it's not going to let me do that. But so yeah, that's how you navigate. There is a search here. So if you're looking for something very, very specific, you can type that in here. So for example, let's say I only want to see buckskin. Let's say if it mentions buckskin, that's going to pull up anything that mentions it, right? Like, so it's like a keyword search. So that's the search. On the computer, you have this little search bar here, and then you also have this little search glass. On the app, you have, let me get down to it here, you have the search glass, okay? So just, kind of a fun feature that I think a lot of people overlook. So you can search if you're looking for something very specific. So that's just kind of how to navigate through all of this. And you can print yourself a catalog to bring with you, or like if you want to make notes on it before you get to the sale, you can actually print a catalog from here. So there's this print option right here. Again, they'll have printed catalogs, but I know sometimes people like to make notes at home or whatever. So just know you've got that option available to you on here. So let's get you guys registered to bid and see how all that works. You'll notice under each and every lot, there's a prompt saying register to bid, and you can click on any horse, any listing whatsoever in this auction, and that will register you for the whole auction. So we'll just go ahead and click on this pretty Palomino filly here, and that's going to bring up this screen. Now, if you have never, ever had an account with Horse Auctions USA, don't put your email and password in here, because you don't have an account yet. I've had people, do that, and then they don't understand why they can't get registered. So this is just for those of you who have had a registered account with Horse Auctions USA before. For the rest of you, you go down here where it says no account sign up here, and you guys are going to click there. You put your information in, make sure that that's checked, and continue. It is going to walk you from there on through for address and all that, and you are going to have to put a credit or a debit card on file to register to bid. I just want to touch on that because this is a point of confusion for a lot of people. So unfortunately, our industry is subject to scammers and just generally awful people, just like everything else in the world today. So sadly, we now have to have a good way to confirm that you folks on the other end of the phone or the computer are real people, adults over the age of 18, and you got a valid payment method. And so what we have to do is have you put a card on file, and Horse Auctions USA does a pre-authorization of $500 on that card. Now, this is the part that I want to be very clear about. That is not a charge. It's a pre-authorization, like when you rent a hotel or a car. Your mobile banking app, if you have mobile banking, will most likely send a notification to you that comes through looking like a charge. So please don't let that throw you into a panic. If you actually get into your banking and you look at it, you'll see it as pending, right? And it's never going to complete. It's going to fall off and it's going to vanish like it was never there. That happens automatically on our end at the end of the auction. When it shows up on your end is entirely dependent on your bank. For most banks, it's the next business day. For some, it's 2 business days. But again, just know it's immediate on our end, okay? So again, not charging you to bid or to register to bid, but we just do have to have a way to verify that you are real. So unfortunately, that's what we have to do. Having said that, you're not going to make final payment to Horse Auctions USA if you're a winning online bidder. You're going to make final payment to the Missouri Trail Horse Sale directly with the sale office, right? So if you're choosing to use your card with them, they'll need to get your card information from you directly. We don't share your card information, you know what I mean, with the sale directly. So your card information is encrypted and secure. It's not going anywhere. It's just to make sure that you're a real person. You don't have to pay with a card. You can pay cash or check at pickup as long as you're picking up, like immediately following the auction, or the very next morning. You can absolutely pay cash or check at pickup. So those options are available to you. Just got to get you over that little registration hump. Just be aware that you will have to put a card in. And again, I'm sorry, I hate that we have to do it, but you know, these are the times we live in. So what I'm going to do now, I'm going to get into my bidder account so you guys can see what bidding looks like, and we can talk about how that works. I want to make a note here. You see how it's giving me the option to remember me, so it'll keep me logged in. It'll do that on both the app and on the website. I'm going to recommend, unless you're on like some public, you know, access computer or something you share with someone you don't want to have access to it, I'm going to recommend you check this, and I'm going to tell you why in just a second. So let me get signed in. Okay, so I'm already registered for this auction, and as you can see, now I'm signed in and things have changed. So you'll see up here, now it says my name. The reason I just told you on that last screen to make sure that you checked to keep you logged in, I encourage all of my customers to get into the habit of every time you open your app or get on the website, the first thing you do is just do it as a habit, and that way, you know, you won't overlook it. Make sure you're signed in, that you see your name up here. The reason I'm telling you that is this. If you chose to not keep yourself signed in and you're going to bid live at an auction, and you get on to watch and you forget to sign yourself back in, and you're watching and the horse you've been waiting and looking at for 2 weeks comes in and you go to bid, if you aren't signed in, you're not going to be able to bid. And since it's an auction and it's, you know, fairly fast paced, the odds of you having time to get back out of here, get logged in, and then bid and the horse still be in the ring are slim to none. So just kind of a little, this is a experience thing. I've actually had that happen to bidders. So just trying to avert that. So anyway, make sure you're logged in. You're good. And the other big, hey, yep, I'm definitely logged in, is now that little register to bid prompt. Now it's actually telling me I can bid. Okay, so I know I'm in the auction. I'm in an auction that I'm registered to bid for, and I'm definitely signed in. So we are good to go. When we're live, so we'll go live, like I said, 10 o'clock on Saturday morning. You make sure you're logged in. Click on that first lot. So you're in a lot, and you're going to click View Live right here. So we're not live right now, so there's nothing there. But when we're live, that's going to bring up the video of the sale. There is absolutely no delay on the online bidding feed. So you're going to be real time. So you have audio, video, you can hear and see everything as it's going. And then you're going to have these bid buttons over here. So this is going to tell you what the current asking bid is. I know some people have a hard time following an auctioneer, and I completely get that. If that applies to you, fear not. So this number in front of you, that's the number that the auctioneer is asking for. So if you're having a hard time following him and you're not real sure what he's saying or what the price is that he's asking for, Lauren will be the one operating the online on Saturday for you. She's going to be keeping up with him. So she'll be putting that number he's asking for here. So as the bid goes, 1,000, 1,250, 1,500, 17 and a half, this number is going to change in real time for you. Okay, so you know what you're bidding. So if you're watching live, and yep, this is a practice lot. And I want you guys, we're going to go through all this, and I want you guys to not be afraid to get in here and use this practice lot. You know what I mean? You can kind of play around with this and get a feel for things. So you're watching live, yep, I want to bid. So I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to push my bid button, and I pushed it. See how it says confirm bid? You got to push it a second time. We don't want accidental biddings, never a good thing. So you got to click twice. So you click once to bid, boom, confirm the bid. Now there is absolutely no question that I have placed the bid and it has been accepted, right? Everything is turned green. It says I'm the high bidder. So when you're watching live, just remember that. And then if you get knocked out, it's going to tell you you've been outbid, you want to bid again. That's when we're live. But you're probably wondering why it says you can bid now. That's because you also have the option to bid with an absentee bid. It's placing a bid ahead of time. It works much like eBay. If you've ever used eBay, then you're probably pretty familiar with how that works. So what this allows you to do is place your maximum bid, and then it's kind of hands-free, right? The computer's going to do the work for you, and you don't have to sit watch, be worried you're going to miss the horse, whatever. There's a few times I'm going to strongly recommend that you consider using this option, and I want to go over those. Some of them are pretty obvious. Some of them are not so obvious. That's why I'd like to go over them. The most obvious is, hey, I got something else that I have to be doing Saturday. Maybe you have to work and your boss doesn't want you buying horses when you're on company time. Perfectly understandable. Maybe you've got a family function, whatever. Something that physically prevents you from being able to watch live. The less obvious reasons that I recommend people use this. Number one, if you've got horses, you probably don't live right in town and you probably live in part of rural America. And in lots of rural America, the internet service is not so good. So a little bit ago, I told you there's no lag on our end, and that is correct. However, I have no control over the lag on your end. So if you live out in rural America and you know that your internet at home is maybe not the speediest, maybe like when you try to download something or whatever, it's really doggy, be thinking about this. Likewise, if you're going to be traveling, if you've got a great cell signal, you're golden. If you happen to get into a dead spot, you're going to be in trouble. If there's lag on your end, there's a very real possibility that if you're using the live bidding on Saturday, that your bid's not going to get it in time. Because again, we can't control, what kind of internet speed you're at. So just kind of think about that. And the other scenario where I recommend people consider this, buying a horse is a pretty big deal for most people, right? It's a big decision. And auctions are pretty fast paced. So if you find making big decisions under pressure, something that's really uncomfortable for you, or you have significant concerns about whether or not you can follow an auctioneer. And again, I know it's a very individual thing, just kind of things to mull over. Then you may want to think about using this option as well. So some things I want to go over about using it. Number one, how to do it. So next to the bid button, you see this little drop down arrow. That's what you're going to click. I'm going to use the practice lot and I'm going to show you why. And it says create max bid. And I'm going to go ahead and just place a $1,500 max bid because I want to keep it low so you guys get in here and knock me out. So yep, I've thought about it. That's what I want to spend. I'm going to place the max bid. I want you to notice that it did not change to $1,500. Why? Well, because I was already the high bidder at $1,000. So once you place a maximum bid, you're telling the computer, okay, you're in charge, right? You're my agent. It's on you. So the computer already knows that I'm the high bidder, and the computer's job is to work in my best interest, right? It's my representative now as a bidder. I'm already winning the bid at $1,000. There is absolutely no reason for the computer to make me $1,500. So it's not going to. The reason I'm telling you that is I've had people be hesitant to use this option because they're afraid that if they put in $3,500, the computer's just going to set them in for $3,500. That is not how this works. Okay. So don't think that's going to happen. That's not the way this works. The computer's job is to keep you in the lead for the lowest possible amount. So you're going to put your maximum bid in. And then when we go live, like I said, Lauren will be running this from the sale on Saturday. If the floor bids, right, like she's going to see what your current bid is. So in this case, it would be $1,000. She'll tell the auctioneer, I got $1,000. If the floor says 12.5, they bid, right? Lauren's going to put in 12.5. And then the computer's going to say, yep, I see that. And it's going to put you back in at 15, right? And then if the floor comes in and they outbid you again at 17.5, you're going to get a notification that you've been outbid, right? It's going to stop at your max. It's only going to take you there if it absolutely has to. And once it reaches it, it's going to send you a notification that you've been outbid. If you're on the app, you'll get that notification immediately to your phone, as long as you've enabled notifications. If you're on the website, it's going to go to your email. So just kind of something to keep in mind. Something I've had lots of people do in the past, and it has worked really well for them. If they're not sure how good their service is going to be on Saturday, and they really kind of wanted to do this live, but they're not positive and they don't want to miss out, there's absolutely no harm in, and I have tons of bidders who do this, placing your maximum bid and still being tuned in live on Saturday. So you can still watch. So if you've got a maximum bid in there and you're watching and you're logged in live and that horse comes in and it's getting awful close to your maximum and you're like, you know what, I would go a little higher, you can absolutely jump in and switch to live bidding or jump in and increase your maximum bid. You can do all of those things. So just be aware of that. Okay. One last note about this. If a horse comes in the ring and there is an absentee bid placed, Lauren will be able to see that there's a bid. She can see that we've got a bid, someone's got a bid there and the computer's going to be bidding for them. And an announcement is made that changes the information you had, right? So if the information that you're looking at here on the horse says one thing, and then the horse comes in and they're like, by the way, he cribs when he's stalled, and that isn't over here, Lauren's going to take your bid out. She's going to what we call trash the bid. Okay. And the reason for that is announcements on sale day obviously take precedence over anything that was written. And when they make an announcement that changes this information you had, that makes the playing field unlevel, right? It's no longer level between you and the floor bidders. Now the people on the floor have information that you didn't have available to you. And maybe like cribbing is like a hard pass for you. Absolutely not. You would be really pissed if it didn't say anything about the horse cribbing and they called it in the ring and you had a bid placed, So that being said, I just want you to be aware that if something like that happens, or they got into a fender bender on the way and the horse comes in and it's all banged up, there's something, our job is to, kind of be your eyes there. So we will knock your bid out. It's not to keep you from getting a horse. It's to keep you from getting an unwelcome surprise. We want you to get a horse that you're going to like and enjoy and get what you thought you were getting. Okay. So that's kind of a good cursory overview of how this works. Again, this is a practice lot. No harm, no foul. So for those of you who are new and who really kind of like to hands-on stuff, I'm going to encourage you to get in there, get yourself registered. Go ahead, knock my bid out. Go ahead and place a couple of max bids on this practice lot and get a feel for it. There's no harm, no foul. Only on this lot, please. Don't be placing bids unless they're for real on any other lots. But over here on lot 0, you can just bid to your little heart's content. It's just for practice. It doesn't count. Okay, you don't have to worry about that in any way, shape, or form. When can you register and all that good stuff? Registration's open now. We've got people already registering. So I'm absolutely welcome you to go ahead and get registered. Yes, you can register in the middle of the sale. You sure can. If we're 20 horses in, you can go ahead and register to bid. I am going to strongly encourage you to register before the sale. Here's why. Like I said at the beginning of the video, September is a busy month, so we've got 4 sales in 4 states on the Horse Auctions USA platform on Saturday. And I myself will be at one on Saturday. Once we're live and things are going and all of us who work for Horse Auctions USA are running auctions, we can't answer the phone, right? Because we're on the auction block and it just running the computer and answering the phone and all the other things we do. It doesn't work well. So the reason I'm going to encourage you to register before is, should you have a hiccup, I'm reachable before we start things off on Saturday. Once we get into the heat of things, like in my case, I'll be available until about noon Central Time, and then I'm not reachable. We can troubleshoot for you. If you register when we're in the middle of the auction and you have a hiccup, we'll do our best to help you, but we have to, to continue to keep up with the internet bidding. So I am going to encourage you to register ahead if you can. Again, my name is Bridget. I will put my phone number and everything on this too, but I'm just going to throw it out there now. It's 336-904-8903. You can reach me by phone or text, and it's in all of the information for the sale. So, by all means, reach out. I will tell you when you register, probably the registration's super easy, but if someone's going to have a snag, it's usually that their address doesn't match the address for the card. Remember, I said you had to register with a card. Make sure the address matches whatever address you're using for your account. Make sure it matches the address on the billing statement for the card you're registering with. A lot of banks are really tightening up on that, and that's good. That's for your protection. But it can make registering for stuff like this a little, complicated, because maybe your street gets spelled a little differently or whatever. So just kind of think about that. But again, I'm just a phone call away. I hope this was helpful. I hope you guys get the horse of your dreams. Make sure, if you haven't checked out the online catalog, that you do. Got a really, really cool set of horses in a really neat location. Again, Cold Creek Cowboy Church in Ava this Saturday. Thank you, everyone. Good luck and happy bidding.